Hi, I'm Chris Davila, and welcome to Chris's Connection. We're joined today by David Almaguer, who is an artist from here in San Antonio. He was born and raised here on the northwest side of San Antonio, and is really sort of a self-taught artist. His work is mostly in stencils and painting, and so, David.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing good, actually.
All right. So let's start off talking about how you actually came to your work. So in the form of stencils.
With stencils, it was funny because I was doing a lot of different like paintings and drawings and things like that, and I was showing in small little galleries around town, and really was trying to figure out my niche. And then I had a friend who did graffiti in a class, and he's like, "Yeah, and I do these little stencils," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And he showed me, and something just clicked with him. I immediately gravitated to that stencil. I just liked that repeating of an image. And just kind of took off with it, and so developed my own kind of like style, which was really more. I mean, everything I do kind of looks like it's just drawn like out of comics, and that's really what got me into it, was that I could repeat that image over and over again.
Okay, well that's kind of a good segue into you'll be opening a big show, right, in May?
Yes, yeah, and that whole show, it's really. All my heroes growing up, and as a kid, I have it was like Superman and just all these from movies and comic books and things like that. And what I'm doing now with this show is taking these heroes back as an adult now, and I'm making them my own, and they're all self-portraits of me in these kind of superhero characters. So. It's like with the Superman, it's got this lucha mask, is this kind of persona that I've taken on for all my paintings. So they all have that mask that kind of ties them in together. But
and so how many works will you have for this show?
This one, there's 10. There's 10 on that.
And these are large scale paintings.
Yeah. They're about I think they're like 3 foot by 4 foot, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly.
And again, so this show will be at the Southwest School of Art and Craft.
Yes.
And it opens May
11th.
Which is a fantastic day. Getting back to your use of kind of heroes. So you said like Superman. I mean, I don't know if you want to say like all the characters. Yeah,
well, I've done a couple. I did a Superman and a Han Solo, and those were the beginning of the series.
I'll stop you there on the Han Solo, because I do have to say that I knew, of course, that I was going to be interviewing you today. So in your honor, I did wear a Star Wars shirt.
Yes, I was really excited about that. Thank you.
Star Wars. So yes, there's that. Okay, so now back to your work and your show at Southwest School. So again, opening May the 11th, and really kind of focusing on sort of like a lot of pop culture.
Yeah, I take a lot of kind of these iconic images that I remember as a kid, and that's kind of started off with my work, was a lot of more like toys and things like that that I was doing, and now started doing these, just these figures, these people that I remember, and it was really just like I grew up with comics and movies, and those were my things.
Right.
I watch movies until I'm about to pass out falling asleep. It's just one of those things that just really is a huge influence in all my work, and so that's where I'm taking all these kind of characters and things like that from, but making them me. 'Cause I feel that even when I was doing those older toy paintings, that they were self-portraits. There was a part of me in them, and now I'm taking all these characters and kind of making myself these heroes that I used to look up to as a kid, and it's kind of like repurposing them for me now as an adult.
So the common theme between your, as you call it, older work and your newer work that you're producing now is, of course, your backgrounds. So you are known for using beautiful lacework patterns in the back of all of your works.
Yes.
So where does that come into all of this?
That one, actually, it's more it's my grandmother. It's kind of the symbol of my grandma.
Okay.
So I try to put that in all of my paintings, and really she was the one who kind of encouraged me into art and everything like that, and stuff. If I ever needed anything, she would buy me pencils or crayons or whatever as a kid. I just remember I never didn't have something to draw with when I was a kid around. And just that kind of thing, the lace is, people think about their grandma, you know, these little doilies or these little things that they had. And honestly, my grandma didn't really have much of those. She had a couple growing up, but it was just that symbol, is that idea. And I took it, and it's really my grandmother's in all my work that I do.
So now, this might be kind of a weird question, but oftentimes your work as a local artist is shown next to another local artist, Angel Rodriguez Diaz,
Yes.
who also uses kind of a lace, sort of a background in a lot of his works.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about kind of being compared to Angel?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of themes that we use, because he has the whole Lucha Libre mask
Right.
series, and then his amazing lace backgrounds. I mean, I like the comparison.
Yeah.
I feel that I have a lot to achieve to get to his level, but I think we're exploring similar themes, especially with that Lucha Libre mask. Mine is not as much of a self-exploration as Angel's work is, but it's kind of taking that cultural, it's kind of like that, I'm using that as my cultural identity in a visual way, that mask, and showing it. Yeah, I was born in San Antonio, Mexican-American kid. These are things I remember growing up, and that's kind of also part of it, that iconography is, I had El Santo and Superman, on TV all the time, stuff like that.
Okay, so 2 last questions.
All right.
In the last year that you've been creating work, what artist has influenced that work the most?
It was one of those things where I put on a movie instead of music. So I like to watch a lot of movies, and I'll go through a lot of old movies or a lot of new movies, and just things like that. And it's really kind of just finding things that I like, things like that. And it's just these kind of like visual little notes that I find out of these different movies, and I think that's what kind of gets me.
Okay, so here's the big one: margaritas or micheladas, and why?
That one, I'm probably gonna have to answer Lone Star, just because.
Okay, of course, because you're you.
I'm me. I'm from San Antonio, so I can't be waiting around for a drink to be made.
Right.
I just need a
cold
Lone Star,
okay.
and I'm a happy man.
All right. Oh, I forgot. Now, do you have a website that our viewers can go
I
and
do.
find some info on you?
DavidAlmaguer.com.
Okay, and we'll make sure that's up on the screen as well.
It's right down there in the bottom.
Yes, yeah.
Or right here. I don't know where.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I should say we're probably going to go now and get in line and wait for our tickets for The Dark Knight Rises, which is coming out soon.
I'm really excited about that midnight showing. So
we'll be getting in line about 4 months before the tickets go on sale, but that's normal. Okay, well, thank you. As always, if you'd like to join the conversation, you can tweet me directly at the Chris Davila or hashtag Chris Connection, or you can find our Facebook fan page at the Chris Connection. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.